Turkey vultures can swallow a carcass that would make many other animals dangerously sick. That biological paradox is exactly why the bird feeding near a backyard carcass should be given room to finish. Picture a dead rabbit beside a fence or along a quiet residential road. A large dark bird lowers its bare head into the carcass, and your first impulse may be to clap, wave, or chase it off. The scene is unpleasant. The bird seems like part of the problem. But the turkey vulture did not cause the decay. It is removing the decay, mouthful by mouthful, with digestive defenses that let it survive a meal many other animals could not safely eat. The question is not why this bird chooses rotting flesh. The question is how it handles the microbes and toxins inside that flesh, and what you should do when that cleanup happens close to home. This bird is the turkey vulture, scientifically known as Cathartes aura. It occurs across much of North America, and in flight, you can recognize it by its long tail and wings held in a shallow V. It often rocks slightly while soaring. The pale trailing portions of the wings contrast with the darker leading edges. Adults have bare red heads. Juveniles have darker heads, so they can be a little harder to identify. People sometimes confuse turkey vultures with black vultures. Black vultures have shorter tails, broader wings, and pale patches concentrated near the wingtips. They also tend to hold their wings flatter. When either species circles overhead, though, it is not necessarily waiting for a living animal to die. Soaring lets the bird search a wide area efficiently, using rising air to conserve energy. Turkey vultures are carrion specialists. They are searching for animals that are already dead. That gives us the first reversal. The vulture is not circling because it plans to attack something in the yard. It is searching for tissue that has already begun returning to the landscape. Identification tells us what the bird eats. It does not tell us how the bird survives whatever may be living inside that meal. Rotting meat can hold an enormous variety of bacteria, along with compounds produced as tissue breaks down. While feeding, the vulture's bare face comes directly into contact with that material. This is not a clean meal, and the bird is not sterile. But swallowing carrion is not just passive exposure for a turkey vulture. That meal enters a chemical and biological filter. Researchers studying New World vultures compared the microbial communities on the birds' faces with those found farther along their digestive systems. The difference was hard to miss. Exposed skin carried a broad assortment of microbes linked to the environment and carrion. The lower digestive tract held a much narrower community. Many organisms picked up during feeding were not passing through unchanged. That does not mean every microbe vanishes as soon as the vulture swallows. It means the bird's internal environment selects aggressively. The outside of the bird shows what the bird has touched. The inside shows what can survive or function in an unusually hostile digestive system. Different environments, very different survivors. The stomach is the first major barrier. A piece of carrion arrives carrying damaged tissue, bacteria, and microbial products. Then it meets powerful acidity and digestive enzymes. The acid disrupts the chemistry many swallowed organisms need to stay viable. Enzymes dismantle proteins and help reduce the meal to material the bird can absorb. Any organisms that survive that first assault still face immune defenses and competition within a specialized gut community. There is no single shield doing all the work. There is a chain. Acid changes the conditions. Enzymes pull biological material apart. Immune defenses recognize and respond to threats. The resident microbial community adds another selective environment. A meal that began as a crowded biological mixture comes out of that chain dramatically altered, filtered, not ignored. Calling the turkey vulture merely tough misses what is happening. Toughness makes it sound as if the bird just endures contamination through brute resilience. Its body is more precise than that. It suppresses many incoming organisms, tolerates certain organisms and compounds, and maintains a digestive ecosystem very different from the surface touching the carcass. A study published in Nature Communications examined the microbiome of New World vultures, including microbes on their faces and inside their lower digestive tracts. The researchers found far greater microbial diversity on the face than in the lower gut. Inside the gut, a relatively restricted set of groups dominated, including organisms related to Clostridia and Fusobacteria. Those names may sound alarming because related microbes can cause serious disease in other animals. But a microbial group is not one organism with one fixed effect. What it does depends on the exact species or strain, its genes, its location, the surrounding community, and the host. The key finding was the contrast. Feeding placed a diverse mixture of microbes on the bird's face, yet a much narrower community dominated farther through the digestive tract. That pattern points to a clear conclusion. The turkey vulture does not survive carrion by chance. Its digestive system filters, suppresses, and tolerates. It does more than hold microbes back. It changes which microbes can persist. The boundary matters just as much as the finding. Turkey vultures are not immune to every pathogen. Their bodies are not sterile, and a vulture standing over a carcass does not make that carcass harmless to people or domestic animals. The research shows an extreme adaptation to scavenging, not invulnerability. The narrower truth is strong enough. These birds routinely process biological material that presents a serious challenge to animals without the same defenses. Digestive protection explains how a turkey vulture eats carrion. It does not explain how the bird finds a small carcass hidden under leaves, brush, or tree cover. How does it locate food it may not be able to see from the sky? It follows scent. Turkey vultures have an unusually strong sense of smell for birds. Their olfactory system is well developed, and their open nostrils let air pass through the nasal opening. As a carcass starts decomposing, volatile compounds rise into the surrounding air. The turkey vulture detects those chemical signals and follows them while searching across the landscape. That scent is more like a shifting trail than a painted line. Air currents stretch it, split it apart, and carry it away from the source. The bird searches across those currents until the signal guides it toward the carcass. That is how a turkey vulture can locate food beneath vegetation, where eyesight alone would not work as well. Despite the popular image, the bird does not have to wait until meat reaches the most advanced possible stage of decay. Its digestive system lets it tolerate decomposition that would stop many other animals. But tolerance does not mean it demands the oldest, most degraded tissue available. What matters to its cleanup role is that a turkey vulture can find carrion and consume it while decay is already underway. That combination gives the bird its advantage. Its nose finds the carcass. Its digestive system handles the carcass. One brings the vulture to the problem, the other lets it remove the problem. What does that mean if a turkey vulture is feeding beside your fence, along the edge of a lawn, or near a residential roadside? If neither the bird nor the carcass creates an immediate traffic or access hazard, keep your distance and let the bird feed. Do not approach, corner, touch, or deliberately harass it. Keep other people and domestic animals away from the carcass too. The vulture can tolerate that meal. Do not assume anything else can. A turkey vulture normally wants space, not confrontation. Move too close, and it may leave before finishing. Vultures also have unpleasant defensive responses, which gives you another good reason to stay back. Watching from farther away protects the bird, protects you, and allows the cleanup to continue. The rule changes if the carcass is beside active traffic, near water, against a building entrance, or anywhere else it must be addressed. In that situation, contact the appropriate local public works animal control, or wildlife authority. Do not try to capture or harass the bird yourself. Turkey vultures are federally protected migratory birds in the United States, so persistent conflicts require lawful guidance, not improvised removal. Giving the bird space does not mean ignoring every carcass in every location. It means recognizing the difference between a safe feeding event and a real access, sanitation, or traffic problem. The phrase natural sanitation service also has a limit. Vultures remove carcass biomass. When they consume flesh, they reduce the time that decaying tissue remains available to insects, microbes, and other scavengers. They remove material. They do not sterilize the site. The ground beneath a carcass does not become biologically clean after a vulture eats. Fluids, bones, fur, feathers, and contaminated material may remain. A feeding bird cannot replace appropriate carcass management near roads, water sources, buildings, or frequently used spaces. Its value is specific. The vulture finds dead tissue and efficiently removes a substantial portion of it. Persistent communal roosts are a different matter. Large numbers of vultures gathering repeatedly on structures can cause property and sanitation conflicts that are nothing like one bird feeding on one carcass. That situation needs current, lawful, humane advice from the appropriate wildlife authority. Casually chasing the birds may move them for a moment, but it does not resolve why they chose that location. Return to that dead rabbit beside the fence. At first glance, the turkey vulture looks like an alarming bird gathering around filth. Look again, and the scene is almost the reverse. The carcass was there first. The bird arrived because the carcass was already decaying. It lowers its bare head, swallows contaminated tissue, and passes that tissue through acid, enzymes, immune defenses, and a highly selective gut ecosystem. The bird did not create the biological burden. It is processing part of it. That is why you should not chase away an actively feeding turkey vulture when the location is safe. Give it room to finish. Keep your own distance from the carcass. If the location creates a genuine conflict, contact the appropriate local authority instead of handling or harassing the bird. We often mistake an animal associated with decay for the cause of that decay. Turkey vultures make the error easy to see. The unsettling visitor is usually the cleanup crew. When the setting is safe, let the bird work. When it is not, seek appropriate local help. Have you seen turkey vultures cleaning up carrion where you live?